power company, but we're also residents. We all have homes here. We're all looking at our bottom lines too. So, these are just things. It's not taking away from us to give tips and tools and programs to help our customers save money on their energy usage and then also on their bill.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So, we talked about how customers can moderate their energy uses, but what is the number one driving factor of energy bills that are higher?
Number one driving factor is the air conditioner and the temperature outside.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, and I don't know this, and maybe we should ask one of our scientists on the first alert weather team, but does the fuel like temperature, if when it's in the hundreds or the 90s, does that drive your air conditioner even harder too, even though it's only 92?
It does, because not only does the air conditioner cool you, it also takes the humidity out of the air. So that's another reason why it's working harder on a humid day, on a hot day. It's keeping us comfortable indoors. And that's what we live for in South Florida.
So you guys have a tool that can help us all out to save money, right?
We've got a wonderful new toolbox, actually, the FPL Energy Manager. And I say toolbox, it's got the energy analyzer in there, the dashboard, and also simulator tools and a calculator that you can play around with and see if I change this, how can it affect my bill? So small changes can lead to big savings.
So let's use a real world situation. This is my bill and it has my information on it. So congrats, you guys all know things about me now. So my bill for this small little place, it's a 1-bedroom apartment in Jupiter, last month was $93.45. And when we go through it, you can see that my water heating cost me about 18 bucks. My lighting cost me about $13. Things that are just always on, like things like, Alexa, who's always around listening and helping me do certain things, cost some money. My refrigerator cost me about a little over $8. Laundry, by the way, how does it know how to break all this out? That was my first question.
It's the energy analyzer magic, if you ask me.
I was like, how does it know that my kitchen costs $4 and I always go out to eat? How does it know that this? I'm like, that's pretty amazing. But my bill did go up, and we found out where we can go. We can go to, was it the dashboard?
No, right now you're on the energy analyzer. That's going to tell you what appliances are using how much energy.
Right. And so now you can see that I moved in December. Oh, go ahead, Barbara.
This is the dashboard. So the dashboard is going to tell you when you're using the energy. So it's, this is by month. So it's showing you per month what the difference in energy use is. Whereas the dashboard shows you, the air conditioner uses this much, your refrigerator this much, your computer this much. So these are two of the tools that we recommend.
So I moved in, and you can see the lines with the dots. That's the average temperature for the month, and now we're into the upper 80s, low 90s range for the month of July. And you can see when I started out, I had $40, and then it got a little warmer and it went up, and then all of a sudden it doesn't parity the temperature; it's working harder. So I live in one of these. Let me turn the right way. Units has the AC that like it's sort of inside and outside, like an old Motel 6 would be, or a Holiday Inn. And I realized one day it was just running 24/7. But had I started back over here in June, I would have realized that there was something wrong then, not when I got the power bill and not when I got the second power bill. Yes, I know my power was going to be higher in the summer months, but this could have really saved me some money, right?
Absolutely. I actually had a similar situation. I try to look at my energy analyzer just because I'm very interested to see where the energy's going. But when I noticed that my air conditioner was running all the time, I said, okay, something is wrong here. And I called in the maintenance people, and they were able to pinpoint exactly what it is. So, you're going to see an average. Of course, when it heats up outside, you're going to see the rate go up a bit. You understand your air conditioner is working harder. But if you see a big jump, that's something you should pay attention to.
And I did. I just wish I had thought to go to this tool that, and you saw my balance was 0, so I'm good with you guys, right?
Thank you.
No, I'm just messing around. So, what other energy saving tips can people do in their house when they're, trying to save money?
Okay. I have a couple more tips on the air conditioner. Make sure you keep your bedroom doors open during the day and when you're running the air. That way,
Why?
the air can run consistently throughout the house. It actually works harder if you shut the doors. So you're going to be
Wow.
using more energy if it's going to come up against a closed door. Fans. Everyone loves a fan. It can really cool down. You feel like it's cooling down the room, but the reality is that fans cool people, not rooms. So if you've got the fan on, you leave the room, turn off the fan.
Well, I also
We're
hear my dad in the back of my head saying, turn off the fan, because he was a big stickler of like wasting energy back in the day. So I'm always like, I'll get to the car, I'll leave the door, and I'm like, oh, I left something on. And I come back in because he's yelling at me in his 1977 voice of, you're wasting my money, kid.
it can be like $7 a month. $7 a month if you just leave the fans on all the time. Whereas
Per fan, you mean?
per fan, yes. So
Yeah.
just turn off the fan when you leave the room. I'm seeing here, we're seeing some video of appliances in the kitchen. If you're cooking, use the smallest appliance possible. Cook several dishes at once. If you're going to heat up the house with the oven, use a crock pot, grill outside.
The air
And
fryer has been a big one for me. I've actually turned off the. This sounds so weird. It's just because the light was flashing and at the time on the oven, and I never use it. I use the air fryer. I'm by myself. I'm not going to use a big stove and oven.
yeah,
I can just get my portion in the air fryer really quickly in under 3 minutes.
that's perfect. And that's a great use of your electricity because you're using a small appliance. That's a great tool.
I hear you see them closing doors. They're unplugging things they're not using. Other
Yes.
tips we should like pass along?
If you're on your computer, you're maybe working at home at night, put it to sleep. It's still drawing electricity unless you put it to sleep or unplug it. A power strip where you can plug in several different appliances at once and manage them that way is also very effective. If you're buying something new, a new television, look for an LED TV, look for the Energy Star rating. So when you're doing laundry as well, check the water level inside and make sure you're using the correct temperature. The water heater is another big draw of electricity. So make sure that you've got it at 120 degrees and you're using the hot water only when you need to.
And then you did say cook outside. Those steaks look amazing. I just have to pause and say that. As a Texan, you're now like in my vein. I'm like, okay, let's do that. Okay, so where can customers learn more about the FPL Energy Manager and other resources to save energy and money? I assume it's on your website.
It absolutely is. You can use the Energy Manager as well as get tips, tools, and other resources at fpl.com/take control.
And I don't want to put you on the spot. Is there anything else on here that I need to explore and know about? Any other tools while I'm in here about my, my account?
Well, we are updating the Energy Manager. So you're going to have simulators and calculators available to
Oh,
you that
okay.
you can go in and play with. So
Yeah.
you can see, okay, what if I only turn on the television for 4 hours a day instead of 6? And what's that going to do to my bill? What if I put my temperature on the air conditioner up to 82 when I leave the house, which is recommended, even though not many people do that. So you're going to be able to see how that will affect your bill. So that's a great tool.
Something that I do is I use Alexa a lot. I have the little smart bulbs, and I can say, I won't say her name right now because she'll do it. Hey, Alexa, turn off the lamp. But I also have the lamp come on every day at sunset and go off at sunrise. And I have my porch light do the same thing. I like the front of the house to have a little bit of power, a little bit of activity to let people know I'm here. Thanks so much, even if I'm not. I just kind of like that illumination in the front of the house. Are those smart bulbs something you guys recommend or no?
The smart bulbs we do recommend. They use the least amount of electricity. So the LED bulbs, for example, they're going to last 3 times longer and use
Yeah.
less electricity. So that's a very good choice.
The other thing that I love about that, and this has nothing to do with saving energy, is you can change the light bulb color outside to whatever holiday people are celebrating at the time. So if it's Christmas, it'll go, red, green. If it's Hanukkah, it'll go blue. If it's 4th of July, red, white, and blue. It's like really kind of a fun little perk to having those kind of smart bulbs. And they don't cost that much, and they last a long time.
They do. They do. And here's another way that you can use the tool. I mean, that brings you joy. So that's great. So if you want to look at your energy analyzer and see what's using a lot of energy, and then you make the personal choice, I really like my outdoor light, so that's something that I want to keep, but maybe I'm going to use something inside a little bit less.
And I know that it costs me $13 a month to light my entire house. I assume half of that is in the middle of the night. And am I okay with the $6 for the 30 days? Yes, I am. It's going to be okay.
Yes.
But I got to make that decision, which is what you're saying.
Yeah.
This listener says, our viewer says, great tips. I have a tankless gas water heater that has helped also. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh,
that's very interesting. Barbara, is there anything that FPL would like to share with us that we haven't talked about so far?
We are launching a new Savings to Sing About trivia game on August 24th. So keep look on our Facebook pages. We're going to be advertising about this as well. So here's a fun game you could do at home. It's going to test your trivia of savings tips for electricity. So you can find that at fplsingyoursavings.com.
You can always count on a spokesperson to have something else to add. That's literally your job, and I love it. So thank you for being with us. I appreciate you.
Oh, thanks for having us. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Slay Your Day can be found in the WPTV app on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Plus on the Taste and See South Florida Facebook page and the WPTV free mobile app.